Hi, everyone. It's Katie here with Colette. We're partnered with UW Superior Alumni and Friends Foundation to bring you some really exciting travel opportunities in 2025 into early 2026. I'm here to tell you about some of those destinations today: Italy, Nashville, Croatia, and Africa. Just a little bit more about Colette. We are a tour operator based out of Rhode Island. We've been around for 107 years, and we're regarded as the most experienced tour operator. You might recognize our name from the Wheel of Fortune. We've been giving away trips with Pat and Vanna for over 35 years, and we have over 170 itineraries that go to all seven continents. So let's dive in and learn more. Before we get started, I just want to share a little bit more about what it means to be on a Colette tour. We're really going to handle all of the details, the logistics, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, but we're still going to build in pockets of free time so you can enjoy the destination however you see fit. You can expect four-star, strategically located accommodations. As you're moving from hotel to hotel, we're going to provide that hassle-free baggage handling. Rest assured, we're not going to just send you out into these cities encouraging you to go see the sights on your own, but we've built our itineraries to really introduce you to the iconic sites, to show you the culture and history, introduce you to the local people and the culinary scene. You'll be traveling independently from your originating destination. However, once you arrive in destination, we will be there to pick you up, to transfer you to that first hotel, where you're going to meet our tour manager. That tour manager is a destination expert. They know the ins and outs of the region. They speak the local language if it's different, and they're essentially going to act as your personal concierge while you're on tour. They'll be with you from start to finish, staying at the same hotels, entertaining you on the motor coach, and introducing you to these incredible destinations. We're going to use local expert guides along the way. These guides are passionate about their community, and they'll help bring the excursions to life along the way. Any activities listed on your itinerary, all of those entrance fees have been included, and we get to skip most lines with our VIP admission. Rest assured, you're going to have a comfortable luxury motor coach to ride on as we make our way from point A to point B. And it really allows you just the opportunity to sit back and soak in the environment or grab a cat nap as you gear up for that next adventure. We have professionally planned itineraries. I'm going to turn it over to my product team for a minute so you can hear a little bit more about how we build our tours at Colette, giving you a premium experience. Let's hear it from them.
I live in Australia and I design our tours.
I live in Italy.
I live in Croatia.
Portugal.
I live in the United States.
In Japan.
Portugal and Spain, and I design.
And I design.
And I design our tours.
Our tours are created for travelers, by travelers.
There's no middleman between our brand promise and our traveler's experience.
Travelers get access to the real local culture. They'll see how people eat and live.
And how they do business in the countries that we visit.
We're curious about culture.
And we know that you are too.
It's Tuesday, it must be Belgium, is our guide on what not to do. Every day is new and different.
You'll eat in local restaurants and in locals' homes. You'll take cooking classes and do dine-arounds and join a walking food tour to explore a city.
Of course, you can also explore a city by dog sled.
Or tuk-tuk.
Trolleys, safari jeeps, public transportation, and even a vintage car.
And you'll overnight in igloos and in tree houses.
And in castles, chateaux, and Italian villas.
You get the point.
And speaking of where you'll overnight, we have the fewest one-night stays.
Because when you go on a trip that you've been dreaming about, you shouldn't feel rushed.
I hate feeling rushed.
Your time is best spent in the destination, not driving between them.
We design tours to spend the fewest hours on the coach as possible.
And your tour is more inclusive. You'll get the must-season local experiences, not one or the other.
Because we get it.
We get it. We are travelers.
We are travelers.
We are travelers too.
So hopefully that gave you just a really short introduction to how we design our tours here at Colette. And we can't wait for you to experience one or more of these incredible destinations. I want to go over a few housekeeping details before we jump into those destinations. First thing I just want to share is that all of our tours will offer an optional travel insurance. Our insurance here at Colette is known as the No Worries Travel Protection. The cost of that insurance will vary by tour, but this is going to give you the ultimate flexibility. When you purchase our insurance, you can cancel for any reason all the way up until a day prior to departure. And should you need to cancel, you're going to get a full refund, all of your money back to the original form of payment, with the exception of that cost of the insurance. So just for example, on the Italy tour, which is the first destination we'll talk about, the insurance is $549 per person. But again, you could cancel up until that day before departure for any reason at all. You could be having a bad hair day and decide that you're not going to go to Italy. Maybe your dog is sick or your health has changed. With a simple phone call, we will process that cancellation and that refund, all but the $549. In addition, you're covered while you're on tour. So all of those things that you don't necessarily plan for, should you need medical assistance or evacuation, if your luggage were to be lost or you have a trip interruption or a travel delay. One cost on that insurance gets you canceled for any reason and the on-tour coverage. We give you a lot of flexibility at Colette to really personalize your adventure. You're going to notice that our pricing is set up to include airfare either from Minneapolis or Duluth, but rest assured you can fly from anywhere. We're happy to help with a different gateway if necessary, and we also are happy to help if you want to upgrade your airfare, whether it be premium economy or business class. Please communicate that with our team so we can provide you that pricing. You'll notice a few of our tours have optional excursions. This would be in place of free time. So you pay a small additional fee to do a guided or scheduled activity in place of otherwise scheduled free time. You have the flexibility to go in, a night early or stay a night late. Some of our tours are going to offer a pre or post tour extension. So we really want to work with you to make this your own trip and give you the flexibility to personalize your adventure. We're automatically going to enroll you into our Passport Club at Colette. What this means is when you travel on one of our tours, we're going to issue a future travel credit. That credit is percentage based, so the amount of future travel credit that you earn will vary based on the tour that you travel on, but we're now giving you 3 years to use that future travel credit. So for example, if you travel on the Italy trip in September of 2025, when you return, you'll have a credit on your account at Colette. That'll be good for travel 3 years from September of 2025. It's going to be worth the most if you travel within 2 years on another Colette tour, and then it'll lessen just a little bit in that 3rd year. Honestly, it's just our way of saying thank you and inviting you to explore the next destination. So let's not waste any more time. Let's start off with our Italy's Treasures. This is a 12-day tour happening in mid-September. Here is our tour map, which will really showcase the flow of the tour. We're going to start by flying into Milan. We'll spend 2 nights in Stresa. We'll make our way down to the Italian Riviera for a few nights, over to Tuscany for 4 nights, and then end with a 2-night stay there in Venice. We do give you the opportunity to extend your time in Venice if you want a little bit more time to explore, and we will then fly home from Venice. A couple of things that I'll point out with this tour. Number one, it is a small group tour. So it's a maximum of 24 travels, a very intimate experience. And I love the pacing. You don't have any one night stays here. So 2-2-4-2. It's a really nice pace. It allows you to settle into these destinations, take part in the guided activities, as well as have that downtime to explore as you wish. I do want to point out the activity level, and this will vary by tour. At Colette, we grade our tours from a level 1 being the easiest to a level 4 being the most difficult. Most of our international journeys are a level 3. This simply means that you can handle 3 to 4 miles over the course of a day, be able to handle a 2.5 hour walking tour at a moderate pace, be able to climb at least 3 flights of stairs, and then be able to handle that variety of terrain and different modes of transportation. We try to be as transparent as possible, as we want you to be able to experience and see and do everything that we have set forth on this tour. So I'm going to give you just a very small taste. This is not all of the inclusions, but just a few highlights. We're going to enjoy the Lake District, so Lake Maggiore, surrounded by the peaceful beauty of this alpine region. We're going to have an opportunity to take a boat ride to Isole de Pescatore. This is the beautiful Borromeian Islands. It really translates to Fisherman's Island. So you'll have an opportunity to take this boat ride and really take in the views from a different perspective. We get to stop at a family farm on this tour. We'll learn more about the artisan cheeses that they produce. Of course, we're going to sample the delicious creations, and we'll learn how to pair them with the region's local wine. We make our way more to the Italian Riviera. We're going to see the grandeur along the Liguria coast. We give you time on your own to explore the incredible city of Portofino. And then we're going to make our way by rail to the colorful cliffside villages of Cinque Terre. You'll have a 19th century railway line. It cuts through the series of these coastal tunnels and villages, and it'll take you from village to village. So some of the most dramatic coastal scenery on the planet, 5 ingeniously constructed fishing villages, are truly a sight to behold. We're going to veer off the beaten path and we're going to visit one of Italy's great natural wonders, the Carrara Marble Quarries. So on this off-road drive in the mountains, we're going to follow the roads of the quarrymen carved into the mountains as they extracted the precious stone. And you'll learn more about the work that they did. We make our way through the rolling hills of Tuscany. We're going to enjoy a 4-night stay in a rejuvenating Tuscan villa. We are going to make our way to Florence, the birthplace of Renaissance. Wonderful gelato here, great place to buy leather, just overflowing with different innovators and artists. It's going to be an incredible opportunity for you to see this museum of cultural history. We do make our way into the Chianti countryside, where we actually visit a family-owned villa. We'll tour the house and the grounds. We're going to engage in a hands-on cooking lesson, and then we'll enjoy dinner with the local Chianti wine with this family. We're going to journey through Tuscany's graceful low-lying hills, where we'll be brought to the mystical city of Siena. We'll embark on a walking tour through the narrow Gothic streets. We're also going to have the opportunity to discover Bologna. This is a city that rarely has changed since the time of Renaissance, and it's really regarded as Italy's food capital. So we'll get to browse the city's specialty food shops, sample some of the local delicacies, and enjoy some time here in Bologna. We do make our way to Venice for that final 2-night stay. Here in Venice, you have an opportunity to have a guided tour of the city, to see some of the incredible sights, all the bridges and canals. It's a carless island. You have an opportunity to participate in an optional gondola ride. I would highly recommend it. One of my most favorite memories of my Italy trip last year. We do take a short boat ride to Murano Island, where you'll get to see a glass-blowing demonstration. And then, as I mentioned, we give you the opportunity to stay for 2 additional nights here in Venice to spend a little bit more time just wandering and getting lost in these incredible canals. So I invite you, go on out and check out the trip website with the QR code here. You can also access it from UW Superior's alumni travel page, but I want to bring special highlight that there is a $100 discount per person. That's good with all registrations through February 9th. I wouldn't wait though. Keep in mind that this is a small group, space is limited. Nab your seat today, and you actually have until February 9th to cancel with no penalties. We're going to shift gears and talk about our Nashville and the Smoky Mountain holiday. This is going to give you the opportunity to stay a little bit closer to home, but have an incredible time taking in the sights and sounds in Nashville, Gatlinburg, and Asheville. Here is our itinerary here showcasing. We stay for 3 nights there in Nashville at the Opryland Resort. We go to Gatlinburg for 2 nights and on to Asheville for 2 nights. Understandably, Asheville was just hit incredibly hard by the recent hurricane. Rest assured that Colette will keep you informed, if we need to alter the tour and make adjustments accordingly. But they need our tourism more than ever, and hopefully they'll be back on their feet again soon. This tour is an activity level 2, really means that you can walk 2 to 3 miles over the course of a day, be able to handle a 2-hour relaxed pace walking tour, which would have included breaks, climb at least 2 flights of stairs, and you'll still notice a variety of terrain, whether it be cobblestone streets, a moderate hill, or a dirt path. So we're going to step back in time on this holiday getaway. It's going to open in Nashville, the musical capital of the world. We're going to stay at the glorious Gaylord Opryland Resort, an impressive property year-round, but during the holidays it sparkles even more. We'll have a local guide who's going to show us more of the history and lore of Music City. It'll include the state capitol, Music Row, and the Parthenon, which is truly a full replica of the Athenian original. We're going to take our reserved seat at the renowned Grand Ole Opry. It actually began as a local radio broadcast show airing once a week, and it's grown to become an entertainment complex that really attracts fans from all over the world. We're going to visit the RCA Studio B. This will give you really an insider's look at the oldest remaining recording studio. Heck, you'll even have an opportunity to make a hit of your own. We'll explore the Country Music Hall of Fame. This is the largest museum of popular music in the world. It's known as the Smithsonian of Country Music. We're going to give you a choice on tour. You can enjoy this beautiful horse-drawn carriage ride to take in the twinkling lights, or you could admire the lights and decorations of the Opryland Resort as you gently drift along the river on a relaxing cruise. So you'll get to pick your preference. We'll continue east toward Gatlinburg. This is a lively mountain resort. It's the great gateway to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and we're going to enjoy 2 nights here. We're going to take in the Christmas at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, spectacular light displays, and a lineup of shows which celebrate the spirit of the holiday season. We're going to have an opportunity to make our way into the Great Smoky Mountains on a guided tour. It'll lead an expedition into the most visited national park in the U.S. It has one of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth, which you'll learn about, and the largest deciduous forest in the eastern United States. Keep your eyes peeled for the black bears. There are over 1,500 black bears that call this area home. Of course, we need to stop at the Old Smoky Mountain Moonshine Distillery, where you'll get to smell the distinct aroma of the moonshine as you make your way through the distillery. There's multiple flavors. You'll have an opportunity to taste them as well. We make our way to Asheville, where we're going to enjoy this Blue Ridge mountainous area for 2 nights. We give you some time to really explore the craft breweries, the chocolate that it's known for, and the farm-to-table cuisine. So it truly sparkles during the holiday season. We'll have an opportunity to experience what it was like to be a wealthy tycoon during the Gilded Age as we visit the Biltmore Estate. So George Vanderbilt II decided to build himself this little mountain escape back in the late 1800s. and the result was this impressive Biltmore estate. The property covers about 8,000 acres. We're going to tour the sprawling mansion, the manicured grounds, which will be adorned for the holidays with decorated trees, wreaths, and poinsettias. So this tour here happening in late 2025 at the holiday time. Registration, you can save $200 per person prior to that registration deadline of May 29th. Again, I'd encourage you to register sooner rather than later, as your deposit and insurance would be fully refundable through May 29th. So no penalties should you need to cancel prior to May 29th. Let's switch gears and go across the pond to winter in Croatia, happening late February into early March of 2026. Excuse my typo there on the screen. Don't let the word winter scare you. You're going to escape the true Midwest winter. You'll be able to experience Europe in the mid-50s at this time of year. So much different than our Midwestern winter. You'll be able to experience mid-50s here in Europe and really take in the sights. This is the perfect touring weather. So here is our tour map here. We're going to be flying in and out of Zagreb. We'll spend a couple of nights in Opatija, 3 nights there, make our way to Split for a 3-night stay, and then we'll end with 2 nights in Zagreb. This one here is also a level 3, so again, really meant for that on-the-go traveler. In Europe, there are a lot of cobblestones, more historical cities where the motor coaches can't make their way into the city to necessarily drop you off. So just be mindful, be sure that you're prepared for everything we have on tour. So we're going to kick off our tour in Opatija. This is a fashionable resort town on the Adriatic coast. You have an opportunity to get to know this town on a guided tour. We're going to discover the Astranian Peninsula. We'll make our way to Pula. This is a seafront city known for its urban landscapes, but we'll actually take our local guide and go to the Pula Arena, one of the best preserved Roman amphitheaters that dates back to the 1st century. We do give you an opportunity to do an optional tour, and I want to mention this because this gives you the opportunity to make your way to a different country, Slovenia. So this is the only country that has the word love in its name. It's a romantic capital city that we'll visit on the banks of the river, and a local expert will really introduce us to the parks, cafes, and the central market. So if you want to gear up and go on this optional tour to Slovenia, otherwise you'll have free time to spend in the city that you're at. We do make our way to Split. On our way, we're going to stop in Zadar, where we get to enjoy lunch in a local restaurant and really explore the irresistible blend of old and new as we go on a guided tour of this area. We get to uncover the historical treasures of Split. This is a seaside city. It's full of Roman ruins and natural splendors. We'll set out on a walking tour. We will get to see the Diocletian's palace. And then we actually make our way to the Dalmatian countryside. We'll spend an afternoon in Radiosik. This is a village that is now a protected cultural monument on a family estate. So the family will actually share more of its traditions and cultural heritage. We get to have a freshly prepared dinner with homegrown ingredients alongside of the family. Although Dubrovnik is not included on this tour, we do have an optional excursion. So if you want to make your way to Dubrovnik instead of some free time, you will have that opportunity. We are going to make our way back towards Zagreb toward the end of the tour. But first, we're going to make a stop in Plitvice Lakes National Park, one of the oldest and largest. It's over 73,000 acres, but it's one of the oldest national parks here in Croatia. Absolutely stunning. We'll travel through the park's dense forests. We actually take a short cruise along the terraced lakes, connected by waterfalls and the free-flowing cascades. So this beauty is not to be missed. We're going to step right into the history and culture of Zagreb. We'll go on a city tour with a local guide and spend a couple of days here in Zagreb, really getting to know this capital city. So for our winter in Croatia, you have an opportunity to save $300 per person through September 1st of next year. So a long time to sign up for this tour. Again, don't wait. Get signed up now to save your spot on this incredible itinerary. Last but not least, I want to share a little bit more about our Exploring South Africa with Victoria Falls and Botswana. This one here is also a small group, 19 travelers max. When we explore three countries, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Botswana, this is really great for travelers who are seeking out a multicultural look into the cities, the wineland areas, and the wildlife of Southern Africa. Our goal is to seek out the big five and the big predators, not to mention a variety of antelope and over 500 species of birds. So you're going to see our tour map here. It's a little convoluted here. So we actually fly into Johannesburg. We're going to stay one night in Johannesburg, and then we're going to immediately fly up to Victoria Falls. So we spend time up in that region of Zimbabwe, exploring Chobe National Park. We fly back to Johannesburg, where we stay for 3 nights in Pilanesberg, and then we fly to Cape Town for our final 5 nights down there in the southern region. We do give you an opportunity to go on to Dubai. So that is an optional extension if you want to explore the incredible city of Dubai. This one here is also a level 3. Keep in mind that you're getting in and out of these safari vehicles, which can be a little bit more challenging. There are definitely some early mornings, which I will allude to here shortly when I give you some of the rundown on the daily itinerary. But here's a little glimpse into our African safari. Doesn't it get you excited here? So as I mentioned, we'll fly into Joburg. It's going to be just a relaxing day to kind of acclimate and get your body adjusted. That very next day, we're going to fly to Victoria Falls, an awe-inspiring natural wonder of the world. So we're going to check into this incredible lodge, the Wallow Lodge Hotel. This is an authentic African tent camp with all the amenities of a luxury resort. In the afternoon, we'll have a chance to see the rainbows at its highest and witness the awesome power of Victoria Falls. We also have an opportunity to have an experience of a lifetime as we spend some time with African elephants, greeting them and interacting with them in their own habitat. We're going to make an opportunity to travel to a township where we'll join a local family for a simple home hosted lunch. It's not necessarily about the food that you're eating here, but more so that community and that interaction with the local family. There are lots of different game drives on this opportunity. We have an opportunity to go on this safari cruise where we'll cruise along the Chobe River looking for elephants and hippos as they linger and swim along the shores. Lots of more game drives. So we have a game drive through Chobe National, where we'll take in the diverse ecosystems, the unparalleled biodiversity. We have an unforgettable chef-hosted dinner where we have an opportunity to learn the secret to cooking a traditional braai. Braai simply means grilled meat. It'll be complete with local flavors and delicacies. We have an opportunity. We transfer back to Victoria Falls where we fly to Johannesburg. We then make our way to Pilanesberg National Park. This is a game reserve with it's within an ancient crater, and the lions truly reign as the kings. So there are over 7,000 animals, 360 species of bird. And this park is really home to the big five: lions, elephants, rhinos, buffaloes, and leopards. Before sunrise, we actually make our way out onto the open expanse of Pilanesberg. We drive out in that 4x4 on search of creatures, both large and small. We come back to camp and then we go back out on an afternoon game drive that might take us past the big cats preparing for a hunt. Back at the lodge, we're going to indulge in a bush dinner that evening. So you can really allow your mind to wander as you stare up at the sky in awe, marveling at the parade of stars and constellations only witnessed here in the Southern Hemisphere. So this is kind of a typical day. It does vary by itinerary, but just know that on the game drive portion of our itinerary, we're up and out early. We want to get out there at the break of dawn to see the animals when they're really active. You'll have an opportunity to grab a cup of tea or coffee, venturing out at sunrise. The half game drives there last for about 3 hours. If the game driving is particularly good, you might stay out a little bit longer. You come back, around that 9 a.m. hour for breakfast and a midday break. And then we'll head out later into the afternoon for a different perspective, maybe via boat or even on your own 2 feet on a safari walk. So lots of opportunities to see the animals at different times of day in their natural habitat. We have dinner and story time, and we tuck in for an early bedtime so you can be prepared for that next day on this incredible adventure. We're using safari vehicles that will really kind of vary across different parks and regions, but you can count on 4x4 vehicles with a pop-up roof or open sides. Note that there's 6 to 8 to 10 travelers at max, so you always have a prime position within your safari vehicle for viewing the wildlife. We're going to leave that area of Victoria Falls, Johannesburg. We're going to make our way down to the western Cape of the Winelands as we make our way to Cape Town. So we're going to have an opportunity to really sip the South African specialties. It's a full day of exploration of the country's winelands. We start in the Stellenbosch Valley. We'll enjoy a tasting at our first winery. We'll give you an opportunity. We make our way to Frenchtown for an incredible lunch, take a little break, and then we make our way to our second winery. We're going to say hello to Cape Town. This is the electric cultural mecca that will really captivate you at every turn. We'll explore Victoria and Alfred waterfront. This is really a Cape Town hotspot. We're also going to whisk to the top of Table Mountain via cable car to take in incredible views of Cape Town, Lion's Head, and the historic Robben Island. We're going to travel to Cape Point. This is the southwestern tip of Africa, where we can marvel at this vibrant green foliage which blankets the rocky outcrops. We're going to stop at Boulders Beach. This will be the rarest of black tie events, a rendezvous with the endangered African penguins. We're going to be the honored guest in a Cape Townian family's home. Over dinner, we'll get to exchange stories and get to know what everyday life is like here in Cape Town. That'll bring your time to a close on your safari. Again, you have an opportunity to explore Dubai with a 3-night, 4-day extension there. More details can be found on the trip website about that day-to-day extension. So I encourage you, get on out to the trip website here. We're going to have all the way through October of 2025 to get signed up for this tour. It is a small group with 19 travelers max. So if this interests you, don't wait. Understandably, the travel isn't until 2026, but it's time to start planning for this incredible adventure. So in closing, I just want to showcase this commercial, and I'm going to ask that you keep in mind Colette recorded this prior to any knowledge of a worldwide pandemic. So take a listen.
How many times have you told yourself, someday you'll travel to that special place? Stop waiting for the perfect time and make this time perfect. This is your trip of a lifetime. Your someday is here.
So I hope hope you heard one sentence. Stop waiting for the perfect time and make this time perfect. Whether it's Italy, Croatia, Africa, or Nashville, don't wait. Get signed up today for one or more of these incredible adventures. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Heather Thompson at UW Superior Alumni and Friends Foundation. And again, head on out to the website where you can see all of the travel opportunities being offered by UW Superior Alumni and Friends. So thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to have you on tour.